Step 4, part 2, how to become an estate agent or becoming an estate agent. Okay, so basic questions. How many bedrooms? Who is it for? If sales, buy to live or buy to let? What area? Your maximum price. If sales, do they have a mortgage? If no, tell them you have a great mortgage advisor. Do you mind if she calls you? When is the best time for her to call you? We also recommend good solicitors. Do you mind if I can get them to give you a call, to give you a quote? If lettings, how long do you want to let for? Size of rooms, how many receptions, etc. Does your husband need an office? Question mark. Or your wife need an office, depending if stay-at-home husband or wife. I didn't write that. Oh, I'm too PC to I corrected it now. So, does little Johnny need a playroom? Does he need a single or double bed, etc.? Good questions. When do you need to move by? What happens if you don't move by then? What's the reason for your move? Can you not stay where you are? What is wrong with your current place? What are you looking for in a new place? Have you been looking for long? How long have you been looking? How many have you seen? Have you seen many? To help me understand you better and be realistic to what is available on the market, tell me about the house, the best house you've seen so far. Tell me everything you loved about it. And then tell me why you didn't take it, or what was missing about it that you wanted. You have a few prerequisites. If you couldn't have them all, tell me the most important one first, and then second most important. What's your most important prerequisite? The one thing you just wouldn't compromise on. So, I'm guessing your most important prerequisite is something you must have, or you will not take the property. Absolutely, you must have this. Question mark. How about your second most important? Would you compromise on this? If you have the first most important thing, would you compromise on the second most important thing? Possibly a few others would you compromise on? Would you definitely not take the property if it didn't have X or X? What if it had X? You need to ask these questions. Now, if you don't know your applicant after this lot of questions, then you are in the wrong job. Because if you ask them all these questions, then you should be really under their skin. And the other thing, I mean, I've had people compliment me, so I love your maverick style, because the thing is, they know that I know them, and they really love answering the questions. If they feel a bit like invasive when you're interrogating them, you say, you know, you tell them up front, you say, I'm going to ask you lots of questions because I really need to understand you. I absolutely 100% need to think right. Paul Hughes, I know this guy, and when a property comes on, I'm going to call you straight away. So let me ask you 14 questions. It's really going to help. Do you have 5 minutes? Yes. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so as per previous step, you should know your properties. You need to try and sell your properties. You need to have vision. You can say, I have a property in your area that fits none of your needs, but it is well under budget and you can apply for extension and add all your needs. I have this property which fits your main need, and you could add other needs yourself as the property is under budget. And I have a property that fits all your needs. It is a bit over budget, but our mortgage advisor has some special deals with good monthly repayments, and also you can make a lower offer. It's worth a look. Yeah. So there's various things you can do to get around needs. When are you free for 1 hour for me to drive you around and show you these properties? Question mark. They will ask to send details via email. Tell them you will send them. However, many people have dismissed properties on the details, and then when I finally convinced them to come and see it, they loved it. You'll have to trust me on these properties. It's just 1 hour of your life. When are you free? Book the viewing in and tell them you look forward to seeing them. Remember, when I started a estate agency, we didn't have the ability to email photos, so we just convinced them. Very bit different nowadays, and I know it's different because obviously I'm still working in the industry, and people always want you to email, but you just have to say to them, look, trust me, you know I know you. I've asked you 14 personal questions. I know you better than any other person, any other agent, sorry, on the high street. Trust me, give me an hour of your life. Okay, it's a numbers game. The more calls you make, the more viewing tours you book, the more property you sell or let for your clients. Most agents will cherry pick because they think they are experienced and they know who will buy or let. But I have seen the new kid on the block who knows nothing about estate agency do more deals than the experienced person in the office many, many times over the years. Then I see the new kid on the block become very confident and start cherry picking applicants that they are likely to buy or let instantly. He or she becomes very experienced, and then another new kid on the block comes along, does the basics, books everybody in on every property, and is the top salesperson. Happens every time. The very basic rule of estate agency is to stick to the basics. You will find in many estate agencies they overcomplicate things, and the only way to survive is to get back to basics. Call all your applicants. It is your duty to your clients, to your employer, and the customer service you give to the public. Next up, step 5. Thank you.